They called her prisoner 734. She had no other name, not one she could remember. Her world was small and gray. Cold metal walls, the hum of the warship, the stale air. Alone in her cell, always watched by silent, stone-skinned guards with glowing blue eyes. They never spoke, only shoved her and tossed in tasteless food. Sometimes flashes of yellow and blue haunted her mind, gone in an instant. She traced stars in the dust, inventing stories to keep her spirit alive. One day, 2 guards came dragging her through unfamiliar corridors. She closed her eyes, clinging to the memory of yellow, a tiny shield against the unknown. Still, something inside her refused to break, and somewhere, deep inside, a memory waited to wake. The journey ended at a docking bay, where a massive, ancient ship awaited. Its hull was covered in glowing symbols, more alive than machine. The air felt heavy with secrets. The guards pushed the prisoners up a ramp and into the vessel's warm, dark corridors. The walls curved like tree branches, pulsing with gentle light. Silence filled the ship, deep and alive, as if it were listening. The girl's fear faded, replaced by wonder. This place felt like a memory she couldn't reach. The guards were uneasy, their confidence gone. They herded the prisoners into a vast chamber beneath a domed, starlit ceiling. In the center stood a throne, glowing with the same strange symbols. The guards shoved everyone against the wall, weapons raised, waiting for something. The girl stared at the throne, feeling a pull she couldn't explain. It called to her, not with words, but with a deep hum in her bones. She took a hesitant step forward, drawn by a force she didn't understand. A guard snarled and raised its weapon, but didn't fire, just watched, uncertain. The ancient ship seemed to recognize her, and the guard's fear grew. The other prisoners watched, hope and fear mingling in their eyes. The girl's heart pounded. She was no longer invisible. Something was about to change. The throne's light grew brighter as she approached. The ship was waiting for her. As she neared the throne, the chamber's lights pulsed faster, and a low hum filled the air. The symbols on the throne blazed white. The guards stepped back, chattering in panic. The other prisoners huddled together, eyes wide. The girl reached out, her hand trembling. The instant she touched the throne, light exploded through the room. A voice spoke, not aloud, but inside her mind, ancient and warm. "Commander," it said, "welcome back. We have missed you." She staggered, heart racing. "Commander?" She was just a prisoner. But the ship's voice filled her senses, insistent and familiar. The guards were in chaos, weapons wavering between her and the throne. They had expected a ritual, not a miracle. The ship spoke again. "They have hidden you from yourself, Commander, but they cannot hide you from me. It is time to remember who you are." The girl realized the ship knew her. It was her ally. The guard's fear turned to terror. The other prisoners watched, hope flickering in their eyes. The ship's voice was a lifeline, pulling her from the darkness. She was more than a number. She was someone the ship had been waiting for. The throne's light wrapped around her, and the past began to stir. The ancient ship had chosen its commander, and nothing would ever be the same. The guards' ritual had awakened a force they could not control. The girl's destiny was calling, and the ship was ready to fight for her. The ship's voice unlocked her mind. Memories flooded in. Herself, older, standing on this ship's bridge, commanding a diverse crew. She was their leader, their commander. She remembered battles, peace treaties, the weight of responsibility, and the love for her crew. She was a protector, a beacon of hope. Then came betrayal, her trusted second-in-command, turning against her in ambush or capture. They hadn't killed her, they wanted her secrets. They wiped her memory, burying the commander inside a frightened girl. She saw herself dragged from the Star Drifter, her ship and partner, left dormant and silent. The ache she'd always felt was the pain of that broken bond. Now, reunited, the memories settled. Prisoner 734 was alive. The commander was real. She was awake. The ship's consciousness wrapped around her, welcoming her home. The past was no longer lost. She was whole again. The memories settled and clarity replaced fear. Anger burned. Her name, her life, her crew had been stolen. She stood tall, the prisoner's slouch gone, replaced by a commander's authority. The guards flinched under her gaze. She was no longer a girl, she was a weapon, and this ship was her hand. "Star Drifter," she said aloud, her voice strong and commanding. The ship responded instantly. "I am here, Commander." Their connection was powerful. She felt the ship's systems, its weapons, its energy. She turned to the guards, who now realized their mistake. They had delivered the one person who could control the legendary ship right to its throne. A cold smile touched her lips. Seal the chamber, disarm the guards. The ship obeyed, doors slammed shut, energy pulsed, and the guards' weapons died in their hands. Shock and disbelief filled their faces. The hunter had become the hunted. The prisoner was now in charge. The game had changed. The balance of power had shifted forever. The commander had returned, and the ship was hers again. The guards were trapped, their weapons useless, exits sealed. They pressed against the doors, panic in their glowing eyes. The human prisoner was now the most dangerous being in the room. She approached them slowly, making them feel the fear she'd known for years. "You took my name. You took my memories. You tried to break me." The words hung heavy in the air. One guard fell to its knees, begging. She felt no joy, only resolve. She would not be cruel for cruelty's sake. "You will answer for what you've done, but not to me." She turned to the other prisoners, who watched with hope and awe. Stardrifter, open a secure holding cell, one with a view. The ship complied, and the guards were swept into a transparent prison. Now, they could only watch what happened next. Justice had begun. The commander's mercy was stronger than their cruelty. With the guards secured, she faced the other captives, dozens from across the galaxy. They were thin, weary, afraid, expecting a new master. She stopped a respectful distance away, hands empty. "I am not your enemy. My name is Kaylin. I was a prisoner just like you." The name felt right, real. "This ship is the Stardrifter. Today, it is our sanctuary." Some prisoners dared to hope. "The Cathar erased my memory. They wanted us to forget who we were, but they failed. I remember, and I will not leave you behind." The promise was clear, a vow in the heart of the ancient ship. Hope grew, fragile but real. Stardrifter released them. Energy cuffs and collars deactivated, falling away. A gasp rippled through the group as they realized they were free. Wings unfolded, crystals glowed, each being reclaimed their true self. For the first time in ages, they were not captives, they were themselves again. Freedom's symphony began, echoing through the ship. The prisoners became a crew. Kaylin's promise was their new beginning. The darkness was breaking. Hope was alive. Freedom was the first step. Vengeance was the next. Kaylin sat on the throne, the ship's consciousness merging with hers. On a screen of light, she saw the Cathar warship waiting outside, unaware of the uprising. Stardrifter's power thrummed, ready to be unleashed. "Stardrifter, give me tactical. I want to see everything." The view screen showed the enemy's weaknesses, weapon placements, shield frequencies. Her strategist mind remembered how to fight them. The freed prisoners gathered around her, no longer captives but crew. Xylar, the insectoid, pointed out a weak power conduit. Hit, the furry creature, offered to disrupt communications. They remembered their skills. They were soldiers, engineers, pilots. The Cathar had imprisoned a command crew without knowing it. "Good," Kaylin said. "Hit, disrupt their communications. Xylar, help me target that conduit. Everyone else find a station." Stardrifter's systems guided them, consoles lighting up. Purpose filled the bridge. They were a team. Stardrifter, power up the main cannons. Her voice rang with authority. The Cathar were about to learn why this ship was feared. The tide was turning. The crew was ready. The battle for freedom had begun. The battle was swift and decisive. The Cathar warship, caught by surprise, was crippled by a single precise blast. The Stardrifter moved with unmatched power and grace. Kaylin's strategy was flawless. Her crew skills showed. The enemy was left powerless, adrift in space. On the bridge, the former prisoners stood tall, pride and hope in their eyes. They had reclaimed their strength. Kaylin looked out at the stars, the enemy ship a testament to their victory. This was only the beginning. There were more to free, more wrongs to right. The galaxy thought Commander Kaylin was dead. It was time to prove them wrong. Strength could be hidden in the quietest people, buried under fear and pain. A prisoner can hold the heart of a commander. Power is resilience, the will to survive, and the courage to remember who you are. As Stardrifter set course for a haven, Kaylin felt peace at last. She was no longer a number. She was Kaylin, survivor, leader, hope. The galaxy was about to learn. Never underestimate the power within those who seem to have nothing left to lose. If you enjoyed this adventure, don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us bring more stories to life. Thanks for watching.